Welcome back to Beyond the Classroom, OWD's podcast about everything outreach and workforce development. And today we're going to flip the script. I've got Lindsay Studheit back with me again, the manager for the business studio. And today she's going to interview me.
That's right. The manager of the podcast today. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be on the other side of this conversation. So today, our episode for Beyond the Classroom is going to be Behind the Wheel. So we are talking today about everything CDL, and we want to learn a little bit more about the program that you manage and direct. So James, for the listeners that out here don't know, what is the CDL program here at LCCC, and who's it designed for?
So CDL stands for Commercial Driver's License. And the program here at LCCC is designed for those folks who have never had a commercial license. They're just looking to get into the trucking industry. Or it's for folks who have previously had a commercial driver's license and for one reason or another gave it up, lost it, etc. And by lost it, I don't mean it just fell out of their wallet. And so that's who it's designed for. It's designed to help somebody new to the industry, somebody who's upgrading their license. Back in 2021, February of 2021, the feds changed the rules, and now anybody who either gets a new CDL or upgrades to a higher class of CDL or adds hazardous endorsement materials license to their license, or the endorsement to their license. Any of those folks now have to go through a registered school, to go through what's called entry-level driver training. They have to get the theory portion. In most cases, they also have to do certain exercises as part of that class in order to qualify for a commercial driver's license.
Awesome. Was that in line with some of the reductions in states for 18-year-olds to be able to do non-interstate driving? Was that in alignment with that by any chance?
I would say not coupled,
Okay.
but yeah, it's a great point. 18-year-olds are now eligible to
Right.
hold commercial driver's licenses. They are restricted to driving within their home state. So for those of you who are driving in Rhode Island, sorry,
We cannot help you here at LCCC.
but folks in bigger
Yeah,
states geographically, like
sure.
Wyoming, Montana, any of the western states,
Yeah.
there's an awful lot of territory that an 18-year-old can
Right.
cover,
Absolutely.
be paid to haul freight from one end to the other. And just look at Wyoming, from Cheyenne to Jackson.
Yeah.
It's a long drive.
When that happened, I remember being really excited about that opportunity for, recent graduates because there's a lot of students right now that are looking for engaging work, physical work. And so I was really excited about that. On the other side of that, though, as an experienced driver, was that a concern for you or an excitement for you as well?
That folks had to go through a school.
Know that they could start at a younger
Oh,
age.
18-year-olds.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of 18-year-olds that are more mature than people in their
Sure.
40s.
Yes.
I've also seen a lot of 40-year-olds who probably shouldn't have a license either.
Yes.
So it depends on the person and the personality more than it does the age. So I've seen a lot of ranch kids who come out at 18 and they've been doing this longer than you and I have, right? So I don't think age is the factor.
Okay.
I think it's more about the personality.
Awesome. I love that. And then when you have these required training programs, that really helps you focus on that personality. And it seems like you would have a better chance of the right types of personalities getting through those trainings. Not that you would use a training to weed people out, but obviously if it's not a good fit, then that gets exposed during the training. So
And it's very rare that I see somebody who can't pick up the
sure.
skills. But yeah, we do occasionally see some folks who probably,
This isn't really what I'm interested in or don't have that
and
skills.
and like you said, we don't use the training to weed people out,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we do help people understand what the job involves
Yes.
and what they're going to need to do if they're going to continue into this field.
Absolutely. I love that. So, speaking of getting into this and what ages are now allowed, how did you personally get involved in truck driving? How old were you? Just what's your background here?
So how did I get into it? My grandpa was a truck driver,
Very cool.
and he told an awful lot of stories.
Yes.
And let's just say, you hear enough of the stories and the mystique.
Man, it is real.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I was in my very early 20s trying to figure out what the heck I wanted to do with my life, and saw an ad for a trucking school. I was living in Florida at the time. I was in Central Florida in Orlando, and I saw an ad for a school up around Jacksonville and went, "You know what? Yeah, grandpa always made this seem like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I can make a lot of money doing this. I don't need to have a house because, well, I'm going to be living out of my
Right.
truck, and I'll just keep my stuff at my mom's house and come home every so often." And it was great for me. I'm a perpetual tourist. I
Right.
love to travel.
Yeah.
I got paid to see the country. They paid me to wake up in a new city every morning. I got to drive to all 48 states. I got to drive through Canada, cross the border a lot, especially in winter. It's almost nobody else wants to go to Canada in the winter. I don't understand.
Sucker. No.
They actually know how to plow the roads up there. So, yeah,
You can't get behind in Canada.
it's not so bad out there. It's really good. Yeah. So that's how I got into it.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, my girlfriend, I kind of used the joke, I promoted her to my wife. So,
Yes.
like, she became my fiance, later became my wife. And while she seemed to be fine with it, while she was my girlfriend and my fiance, once we got married,
Yeah.
I was gone a lot.
Yeah.
And so she eventually said, "You quit or I quit."
Yeah.
And that's a big lesson that I try to help folks learn is you need to understand your family life. You need to understand the needs of your life and your family's needs. That will help you determine what kind of job in the trucking industry you
Right. That doesn't mean you
not
can't
necessarily
drive.
should have, but
Mm.
can have, right?
Yeah.
Because when your family's constantly saying, "Daddy, come home,"
Right.
that makes being gone rough,
Right.
right? The
Right.
money and being a truck driver pays pretty darn well these days.
Yeah.
But when you've got those family demands at home, being a truck driver maybe isn't the right thing or being an over the road truck driver
Right.
may not be the right thing for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's just segue here really quickly because I think you brought up a couple good points. Being a truck driver isn't just eastbound and down and crossing 5 states and bringing something back. And, um, there's lots of careers within your local community. There are um, truck driving careers that don't have overnights, things like that. So, can you just give us briefly what a range of kind of CDL types of positions might look like? And then, because we're on this topic, just kind of the range in pay in some of those opportunities.
Sure. And the range in pay isn't necessarily tied to how long you're away from home,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Because
I wouldn't have guessed that
a
actually.
lot of people think, well, if I want to make the good money, I've got to
Right.
be all
Got to
over
do
the
this
country
sacrifice.
weeks at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that Walmart is probably the best payer in the industry,
Interesting.
and their guys are home every week.
Okay.
As a rule of thumb, anyway, they're home every week. Some of them are running past home a couple times a week, but as a rule, think of it as them running regionally.
Got it.
And regional runs tend to have you home at least once a week. Uh, there's also things called line haul. Old Dominion, one of our partners here in town, along with Saya, along with Estes, people know XPO, UPS. There's a lot of
Yeah.
line haul companies out there. FedEx is the biggest. And what those folks do is they pick up from a terminal. Let's say pick up here in Cheyenne, right? So my truck's ready at 11 o'clock at night. I need to run it from here. Let's use one of Old Dominion's routes. I'm going to run it from here to Sinclair.
Okay.
There at Sinclair, I'm going to drop my trailer. I'm going to pick up one that was coming
Okay.
east. So I ran west to Sinclair. I'm going to
Okay.
pick one up that comes east, and then I'm going to bring it back here to Cheyenne.
Almost a relay.
Yeah, basically, that's exactly what you're doing.
Cool.
And if I'm not bringing it back here, I'm taking it to, let's say, Oglala,
Mhm.
and then I'm dropping it, picking up more trailers in Oglala, and
Back to
coming
the
back
station.
here.
Makes sense.
So I'm basically just doing a triangle,
Okay.
and those folks are home every day.
Right.
And so that's line haul. They're out, right? They're doing a full day of driving. Yep. You're in Wyoming, you're driving through weather sometimes.
Yeah.
But they are, and they make really good money. Some of those companies are still making well over six figures.
Cool.
I know Saya's paying over six figures, Old Dominion's paying over six figures.
And is that brand, you're inexperienced, or would you have to come in with some experience to get that salary?
It so obviously your salary is going to go up.
Yeah.
But even entry in some of these companies, we're talking $80,000.
Right. You're close. Yeah.
And that's on a month's worth of training. I know Saya, I can speak to them because I've talked to one of their
Sure.
folks. You come in after a month with us and they're going to take you down to their school in Denver and give you another 4 to 6 weeks of training on top of that, which is fantastic, right?
Yeah, that's exciting.
In 4 to 6 weeks, there's no way I can make you a seasoned professional driver. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
What I can do is give you the basic skills and the understanding of how to operate the vehicle safely, what the job's going to look like so that you can figure out what you're looking for in the industry. And then, yes, we are reliant upon your first employer to help polish those skills and continue to build things, especially things that are company specific, right? Every company is going to want their paperwork done differently.
Yeah.
Every company is going to ask you to interact with their shippers and receivers differently. Everybody has their own rules. There's thousands of trucking.
You're not going to be able to train on that. Yeah.
Right. Other things in the industry where the pay might be a little lower are some of the local jobs, right?
Yeah.
Jobs where it's more like a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
Or 7:30 to 4:30 kind of thing. But and those would be things like cement mixers or trash pickup.
Yeah.
Those companies.
I mean, I remember being just shocked talking to Schroll Cabinets. Like, what positions do you have open? I was speaking about some high school kids that were looking, and the one that we're really struggling to fill is a CDL. I mean, I'd never thought about Schroll Cabinets needing a CDL driver to deliver cabinets. But to your point, that's one of those classic local positions that would be more of an 8 to 5.
Well, here's one that most people don't think about. Diesel mechanics.
Mm.
In order for them to test drive the truck after they're done working on it,
Gotta have that training.
they need to have a CDL
Interesting.
because they're out on public roadways operating a commercial vehicle in a commercial
Right.
capacity. Commercial capacity does not mean I have freight in the back and I'm hauling it from point A to point B. It means that I'm being paid or getting like-kind exchanges. So even if you're only paying me in cases of beer,
Right.
I'm still operating in commercial
Smoking the
capacity.
Bandit comes up again.
There you go.
If you haven't watched Smoking the Bandit, clearly you need to watch Smoking the
Jaron
Bandit.
Reed obviously needed a CDL. Yes.
Very good. Well, it's fun to talk about this. And one of the things that I really appreciate that you mentioned, again, when working with students in the past, we really encourage them when you're looking for a career, it doesn't matter what you pick, how much education it requires. But if you get a job with an employer that does not continue to train you and develop you, it's probably not a good job. And so I love that you bring up how much training these companies provide over the lifetime of whatever that employment looks like, and would be something important for these students to really think about. And I'm sure you look at when you're looking at partners for the program. So I think that's really exciting because it doesn't really matter what you do. If the learning stops, your career stops and your chances of raises and advancement. So that's awesome. So can you talk to us really briefly about what a typical training day looks like in your CDL program?
Sure. So first couple of days, you're going to be primarily in the classroom, right? The first day, we're going to death by
That
powerful.
theory, all of those
We're going to
pieces.
go through a lot more safety videos. We're going to go through a lot of industry presentations. We're going to cover how to use runaway ramps if you need one. Heaven forbid you ever need one. You better know what they're for, what they look like, how to use them, etc. So we're going to cover that for you. In the second day, we're going to go over pre-trip inspections with you in the classroom to begin with. We're going to walk you through inspection issues that have been found by various DOTs around the country, the various state
Kind of case
DOTs.
study report.
They have put up some fantastic photos of things that I don't want to replicate.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you. Thank you to the police departments all
That's right.
across the country for sharing. I don't want to replicate these, so thank you
That's
for
right.
sharing with us. So we walk through some of the inspection issues they found. We're also going to put folks into our simulator, and we're going to get them comfortable shifting a manual transmission.
Okay.
We get a lot of folks in who have driven a manual transmission in their car. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I bet fewer and fewer people are coming in with any.
which is actually a good thing because
Okay.
you don't come in with any of the bad habits.
You're not breaking anything. True.
We don't have to break any bad habits.
That's
at
a
that
good point.
So, no experience with manual transmissions necessary. Please come in. We're happy
Perfect.
to teach. Um, and then after that, we're going to get you out of the trucks and we're going to start doing hands-on pre-trip inspections.
Good.
So we're going to walk you through what a pre-trip inspection looks like,
Awesome.
a full pre-trip inspection, and then we're going to have you do it, right? Because first we show,
Mhm.
and then we'll teach. After pre-trip, the first day we're working, second day we're working on pre-trip out at the trucks in the second half. After that, we're getting you out on the road.
Cool. That
So
feels so fast.
we get you out on the road.
But it breaks that
we-
bubble. It pops that bubble and gets you moving.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of schools who don't believe that students should be on the road that quickly or don't have time. However, whatever drives them, their students aren't out on the road as often as ours.
Right.
I believe, and my instructors believe, that as a truck driver, you should have as much practice time with somebody over in the passenger seat as you
Yes.
can possibly get. Because I'm sorry, I don't know how many videos you can watch.
Right.
Most people cannot pick up the skills
Sure.
just by watching.
And the simulator is just a simulator.
Right. It's
Yeah.
a video game, right? It's a really good video game,
I've been in that simulator.
but it's a video game.
I got nauseous in that simulator. So for anybody coming
Look
to the
out
program,
driver's window.
you gotta be careful.
So that second day, we've got you. We start the morning off with pre-trip again, and then we're going to go bobtail. So we're teaching them how to do drop and hook. We're dropping those trailers. We're bobtailing around our campus to begin with. After our instructors feel like the students are in control of that vehicle and understanding how to shift it, then we're going to go pick that trailer up again. So there's some more drop and hook practice. So we're teaching students the
Can
right
you just
way.
clarify bobtailing for me?
So bobtailing is a tractor only, no trailer attached.
Got it.
So
got it.
when you see just
Yep.
the main power unit, that is a bobtail.
Okay. Excellent.
So then we're going to come back, we're going to hook up to that trailer again, and now we're going to do some more laps, and we're going to stay again in a controlled environment, primarily around here on campus. Up in Laramie, where we teach, we do it on the fairgrounds,
Makes
and we're
sense.
doing laps on the fairgrounds. So it's in a
Enclosed
controlled
environment. Yeah.
environment. And once our instructors feel comfortable with how the student's controlling it now with the trailer, now it's time to take them out for the next step, which here in Cheyenne could be Swan Ranch. It could be out in the Archer complex. There's a couple of different areas with lower traffic volumes that
Yeah.
are a little less controlled. They're still,
You're out and about, but it's not as busy or
it's not
ministry.
driving downtown Cheyenne on Del Range, especially with all the construction right now.
Yeah.
Up in Laramie, we'll take them out, and there's a bigger loop we can do around the fairgrounds.
Mhm.
You're out on 287 for a part of it. So not quite as controlled.
Yeah.
But once we're off of that street and on the back roads again, now we're back in a controlled territory. So again, the instructor is comfortable. The student, they are definitely not comfortable. We are pushing them outside their comfort zone pretty much every day for the first week or so. The class at a month long, there isn't enough time for you to get comfortable and say, hey, I feel good. Can we do something else?
Yeah.
So we have to
You have to
continue
push that.
you.
Makes sense. You mentioned training here in Cheyenne and also in Laramie. So can you explain a little bit of what those opportunities look like? I'm guessing they maybe aren't ran as often, or maybe they are. So can you clarify where the trainings happen and when they're available?
So we do run classes in Cheyenne and Laramie almost every month. The exceptions would be we tend to take July off in Laramie because of Jubilee days.
Sure.
We also don't start a new class in mid-July here because of Frontier Days. Talk about not a controlled environment.
Mhm.
Way too many tourists in town.
Right.
So for both of those events, we do tend to take the month
Makes
off.
sense.
We don't start a new class in December because of Christmas vacations. So we skip both of those. Other than that, 10 months out of the year, we're running classes.
Okay.
Our evening classes are the ones that don't run as often
Okay.
because those classes only run 5 to 9. They do run the same Monday through Friday schedule, but they only run 5 to 9. So 4 hours a day. We want to make sure you're getting the same amount of training. So those classes stretch out twice as long.
Got it. Maybe isn't as convenient for some or more convenient for others. Is it difficult that more of that time is at night for those new drivers?
Actually, that's kind of a benefit too, because
Okay.
as drivers, we spend a lot of time
Sure.
driving after the sun goes down
Right.
or before it comes up.
So it's a good experience really for them.
And it's huge that you have an experienced driver over there in that passenger seat who can help you navigate those, well,
Yeah.
those very frightening experiences, right?
Yeah.
You're just starting
Yeah.
out, it's scary.
Absolutely.
We also take, going back to what a day looks like, while we're out driving, we take our students from Cheyenne over to Laramie. We drop their empty trailer, hook up to a loaded trailer, and haul it up and down the summit.
Good.
That way they get experience with weight. It's only
Mhm.
about 23,000 pounds, but it's got weight that they can haul up and down that pass. The summit in Laramie is a relatively short pass,
Yeah. But dangerous one.
but it's a chance for these students to get a feel for what it's like to have weight behind me, understand that I need to gear down.
Those elevation changes.
While I'm empty, I can probably get away thanks to
Sure.
the Jake brake going down in 10th gear.
Mhm.
It's that short of a pass. With weight behind me, you're not going down that in 10th gear. If you are, you're gonna have a lot of fun at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where accidents are gonna happen.
So we also drive all year long, doesn't matter what the weather conditions are.
Yeah.
Um,
So there's
if
some
there's a
benefit
foot
in
of
the
snow
winter.
on the ground, we may not be
Sure.
out and about, right?
Well, if I-80's closed, right?
At least until the plow crews come out and clear
Right.
the roads. But a couple inches of snow, yep, we're going.
Cool.
Because as a truck driver, I'm gonna be out in that weather anyway. If
Mhm.
it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's foggy. Again, I wanna learn with an experienced person in the seat next to
Right.
me.
Very cool. Well, just a couple follow-up things before we start to wrap up today. You've talked about having that experienced person next to you. Can you just tell us briefly about your staff that, because I assume you don't do all of these, that would probably be too much. So who are your drivers and is there anything you'd like to mention about them?
So, I've got a fantastic crew of instructors. I've got 4 folks on day shift, and they have very diverse experience. One of my instructors used to be an examiner for the state of Wyoming,
Cool.
and so he's still an examiner for us. We are third party approved. He's done some regional runs as a driver himself. He used to haul for a dairy. So Jake has done quite a few things. Dennis ran the sanitation department here in Cheyenne for many, many years. He did all of the training for the city of Cheyenne and was an examiner for them, and he's still an examiner for us.
Awesome.
We've got Walt, who has done a lot of heavy haul.
Mm.
So Walt's got experience doing that. He's done a lot of things in his career. And then, of course, Rodney on day shift, who has been driving since he could touch the pedals.
Nice.
Rodney has done oil field. He has done pick something in the industry. He's pretty
Diverse
much done it.
background.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So a lot of experiences, and we make sure we tell students, look, if there's something you want to know in the industry, your particular instructor may not know, but
But
collectively
somebody
we've
does.
done it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sounds like a really strong team of drivers.
yeah. On evenings, I've got 2 instructors at the moment. I've
Yeah.
got a third one that's being onboarded. Actually, I take that back. I have 3 instructors on evening, a fourth one being onboarded, and I am looking for an additional instructor.
Wow.
So, Oscar is full-time, National Guard, but he has driven a lot of different units for the military. He's been with us for 5 years, teaching. He's done a lot of things. He's also done some oil field in private sector. Joe he's a certified diesel mechanic, so he comes in with a set of tools that the rest of us don't have. So when he goes over pre-trip, he gets to teach students things that the rest of us may not know because we're not mechanics,
And then you're getting to learn that too. That's awesome.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And Joe has done quite a few things in his career also, including oil field. He loves to tell stories about chaining up in the mud.
Yep.
Um, Jonathan, currently a driver with Coca-Cola. So he does a lot of local runs and a lot of local deliveries. So he has experience with a lot of the hand unloads that drivers will see
Okay.
in their careers, depending on what they do. Driver I have currently in the onboarding process, he's in Laramie, and he actually owns a trucking company. His dad started the trucking company, and so Kelsey
Amazing.
has some different experiences
Love
that
that
he's
owner
bringing.
operator experience. Yeah. Cool.
And we are looking for an additional instructor here in Cheyenne and potentially
Great.
Laramie also.
Where would they find that job application, that job posting?
So the simplest place to go find it, go to LCCC's website, which is lccc.wy.edu/jobs. And then look in either the all positions or the part-time positions for CDL instructor, and you
Okay.
will find that position posted.
Very good. James, it's been so great to chat with you today. And thank you to everyone else for joining us for Beyond the Classroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, have a great day. We are going to be chatting with James again soon.
See?
I want tomorrow. I want tomorrow. I want tomorrow. I want tomorrow today.